a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We always love to help you win, make you more informed as a consumer here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we do that by bringing all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida that we've assembled, we've vetted, and we bring on to educate, entertain, and enlighten on all these different topics. A lot of different stories and topics we're going to touch on here today. Military Appreciation Month. We're going to talk with Mike Murphy as well, Murphy Auto Group, and also the Brian Bill Foundation. We're going to have him talk a little bit about that, as well as the power of our network. We're going to talk about a network kind of a plus that happened here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Derek Coble as well, property insurance adjuster. We're going to catch up with him around different things happening in that industry, of course, in the aftermath of the hurricane and the storm. Shane Socash as well. Later on in the program, Shane Socash, alternative investment, gold, silver, platinum, and other types through Shane Socash. David Reynolds, jewelry and coin, coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, interesting clip I pulled. Dr. Phil talks about the equality of outcome versus meritocracy. So interesting show lined up for you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And before we jump into it, I want to let you know about a couple of our hot listings that we've got here to help our sellers sell faster, profit more, and sell faster on their real estate properties right here in Tampa Bay. We've got some great opportunities in Tampa Bay and some beautiful homes, single-family homes, vacant land, commercial properties available here in the area as well. 51 Island Way in Clearwater. We got a beautiful condo available on the beach. This is one bedroom, one bath, 680 square feet, gorgeous views of the intercoastal waterways there, and you can see all the boats out in the harbor. One bedroom, one bath, 680 square feet. This is completely remodeled down to the studs in 2016. You got new interior, exterior AC units 2020, and water heater and new sliders, noise canceling as well. So 51 Island Way, unit number 906. Great opportunity. I think it's priced in the mid 300s. Great opportunity to own a second home, maybe a nice little vacation spot on the beach, Clearwater Beach. One of our hot listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. All right, let's take a look at another property. We've got a property in Orlando. This is 17805 US 192 in Claremont. This is in Orlando. It's an anchor tenant. This is a commercial property in Claremont, Florida, 17805 US 192. And what it is, it's a Denny's that is the anchor tenant. And it's in Claremont, which is right outside of Orlando, about 10 minutes from Disney World, etc. You have multi-tenant retail spot, almost 1,800 square foot of rentable space, 100% occupied as well, well-maintained, high-traffic retail property in a prime location. Lots of parking as well, 122 on-site parking spaces for sale through our friends in Orlando, the Meraki Group with Keller Williams Legacy over in Orlando. 17805 US 192 Claremont, and you can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road.
All right, we got Mike Murphy back in studio. He's our auto industry expert. Welcome back, sir.
Great to be back.
Awesome, man. Good to come in. Good to have you in. And you know, I love to catch up with you on these different, aspects. Because with the show, we have all these different expert contributors, and the auto industry is something that I think a lot of consumers want to know about. And there's also a looming strike, a potential strike with the auto workers union.
There is. And it's not like they're asking for a 10% raise or a 13% raise. So the auto worker union, I'm trying to say this straight face, their proposed demands are the following. They want a 46% pay raise.
Wow.
They want to be paid for 40 hours a week, but they only want to work 32.
Wow.
That seems like a large gap from where they are.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's some jockeying, some positioning. I wouldn't say it's overly likely to happen, but if it does happen, let's talk about what that means. That means that Ford, GM, Stellantis, so Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, would be shut down.
Wow.
Okay, well, they do have a decent amount of inventory right now, but just remember about a year ago when there was no inventory and prices went through the roof and people were paying over MSRP for vehicles.
Yeah.
If the UAW strikes, Murphy Damas here predicts that you'll be a return of low inventory, above MSRP pricing.
Yep.
Because the retailers like myself still need to make, a living. Unfortunately, it's going to disproportionately affect the Ford, GM, Stellantis, and they're in Union States building their cars. For Toyota, which I sell, Kia, Nissan, a lot of the imports build their cars in the South, in union-free states. I find this very interesting because they have an opportunity to gain market share. So, although prices could be going up for our competitors at Murphy Auto Group, we see prices for new vehicles continuing to drop down below MSRP. Very excited about that.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting. So the North and the South divide on the main line of, in the North you have unions, and in the South you don't. Talk to me
Absolutely.
about that dynamic.
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with the beginning of the automotive industry was all birthed around Detroit, Pontiac, the areas of Michigan. So the big bag business probably took advantage of the employee, and the pendulum swung too far into monopoly. So the workers united, and they fought against the domestic manufacturers. Now, domestic manufacturers owned the market until the late 80s. So as imports came in, we call them imports because the cars were built somewhere else, and they were shipped here. But interesting enough, import dealers now, like Toyota, Nissan, Infiniti, we do build our own vehicles here. The North American auto market is so strong, and the cost of transporting something from Japan to here is so great that those powers to be sit there and said, we can build a better Toyota in the United States as long as we do it in a state that embraces the free market and has anti-union bills.
Interesting. So free market capitalism wins in the South, and they're essentially assembling those products here.
Absolutely. Big winners, state of Georgia, Arkansas, Alabama, Texas. The new Toyota Tundra has more American-based parts and assembled here in America than any other vehicle.
Wow.
So when you buy American-made, if you really want to buy American-made, by default, you have to buy a Toyota Tundra.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, hey, put some nice 33s on there. Now you got a nice four-wheel drive truck.
Absolutely.
And
the new ones, it's a V6, but it's a twin-turboed V6. So now you're getting awesome MPG and improved performance, especially improved torque.
I love that. I miss having a truck, man. I miss driving a truck. There you go. So we're talking with Mike Murphy Auto Group here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and talk about our network. I love the fact that you had mentioned that before. Tell us a little bit about your story and working with the Consumer Quarterback Show network.
Yeah, so the Consumer Quarterback Network, right? The show is fantastic. We provide entertainment and education, but that's only 2/3 of the process. It's like the two legs of a three-legged stool. The third part that I finally experienced that I'm a big fan of is I'm your automotive expert, and to be fair, I don't think there's many people that know more about the automotive retail game than me. But I'm a little bit of a savant where that's kind of all I know. And my business has done well for a long period of time. And I sat down one day, I said, what do I want? And I started off with wanting a fishing boat, like a small little boat. I live on the water. It would make sense. But I don't know anything about boats. I don't have a captain license. So I go to the Consumer Quarterback Show's expert in maritime, and Mike hooks me up. Not only did he treat me with a level of customer service that was humbling, including even driving my boat up with me yesterday from Bradenton. But his knowledge was fantastic. A lot of this is negotiating like a home purchase. I didn't realize the due diligence that goes into this, right? I sell cars, sign here and press hard. Selling a boat, I assumed, was like the same thing, but it's not. It's a floating home.
Yeah.
And if you're even remotely interested in a boat, you got to go to consumerquarterbackshow.com and check out Mike Johnson.
Yeah.
First class dude.
Mike Johnson, Dennison Yachting, great job. And consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our experts. Thanks for that, Mike. I appreciate that. And yeah, that was kind of the vision behind the show years ago. It's like, hey, let's put all the best experts together in one spot. Attorneys, CPAs, self-defense experts. Alex is in studio here with us. And when you look at all these great folks combining their cumulative IQs and knowledge and know-how, it really makes for a safe place to land when you're looking to put these different transactions in place.
I agree. It's interesting because let's assume secret societies are real for a moment. If they were, and I don't think they are, they would focus on having an individual from each different type of industry to collectively work together for the common good of the secret society that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Right.
So what you've done here is opened it up to everybody and then broadcasted it over the airwaves. I mean, what a great opportunity for the average hustler to go from I think I can to I know I can.
Yeah, I like it. Good stuff, man. Talk to me a little bit about what you're doing, because you guys have a heavy heart for military veterans over there at Murphy Auto Group, and this is Military Appreciation Month. It
is. So it's uniquely Military Appreciation Month at Murphy Auto Group. So when you go and Google it, you're like, well, wait, it's National Suicide Awareness Month. And it is. So we combine the two because, unfortunately, a few years ago, 22 veterans a day took their own lives. And my godfather was in the military. My chief of staff's retired military. This was one of those things I felt like I could help.
Yeah.
So we take 10% of our advertising budget, kind of stealing the idea of tithing there, and we're donating 10% of our ad budget plus $25 a car retailed in the month of September in the state of Florida back to the Brian Bill Foundation. And I knew the family. I never had a chance to meet Brian. Brian passed away in Afghanistan. If you Google the worst day in Navy SEAL history, you'll see the Chinook that went down. We had 32 operators, a couple of dogs, some Afghani nationals all go down, and it's a shame because it was obviously tipped off, and they took 2 RPGs. And
is that the one where I think Salem Media actually did a video on that one? If I'm thinking about it, is the one where they had the helicopter that went down?
Correct. Yeah, Operation Red Wing.
Yeah, and I think it was Joe was spouting things at a dinner that he wasn't supposed to be saying, and kind of tipped off who was accountable from.
Yeah, I don't know how much is classified and declassified. With General Horst on payroll, I'm going to defer the rest of that story.
Yeah.
But it's Googleable.
Yeah, and Salem Media, Salem Now, that's another reason I love Salem, is that they have these awesome shows and movies that they put out, and they put out a movie about that. I can't think of the movie right offhand, but it's all on salemnow.com. There's an actual movie about that.
Okay.
Yeah, because
so they're talking about somebody tipped off the bad guys.
Exactly.
There's a dude with a sat phone that said, "Oh, there they are."
Yep. Yeah. Yep, pretty sure. And it was in the cave, or it was in like the mountainous area.
Yeah. And so mountainous, right, that we have a ceiling where we can fly our helicopters. So, if the ground's at 8,500 feet and we're at 10,000 feet, that means there's only a 1,500 foot gap.
Yeah.
Now it brings in small arm fires and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
That's just my civilian definition of it. All I do is sell cars. But, it inspires us because Morgan, Brian's brother, served multiple tours as a Navy SEAL. And the Brian Bill Foundation just focuses on giving back to members of the Naval Special Warfare community as they're trying to transition back to civilian life. Our operators are so talented, and when they're downrange, they're so effective. A lot of the PTSD that I see my guys struggle with, my friends, is trying to readapt to a new normal at home.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the really one of the worst parts of our country right now is we've got something like 40,000 homeless veterans that served our country, and they're laying on the sidewalks holding signs. Many of them are addicted to drugs, fentanyl pouring across that southern border. That's one of the one of the biggest black eyes, I think, on our country right now is just not taking care of those veterans after they go over there and risk life and limb for us. Many of them died, many of them are maimed beyond recognition, and that just, my heart goes out to those folks. So thank you, Mike and Murphy Auto Group, for your military appreciation, everything you're doing there. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with a interesting clip. We're going to talk about equality of outcome versus meritocracy. Dr. Phil has a clip here I'm going to play. Also, later on in the program, we're going to talk property to our property insurance adjuster, Derek Coble, coming up here as well. A lot of that going on right now with the aftermath of the storm, as well as Shane Socash coming up. Alternative investment opportunities, gold, silver, platinum, coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes 1, at CQB Show, and YouTube.com as well, Brandon Rhymes Realty. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you've been listening to the phenomenal Brandon Rhymes, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. A couple of listings here from the Platinum MVP team. Also, one of our properties in the Carolinas, 530 Heaton Forest Road. We've got a kind of a co-listing situation with a gentleman named Bill DeVore. He's got a real estate team with Keller Williams up there. 530 Heaton Forest Road. This This is a gorgeous property, 11 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, 10,000 square feet. This is in the luxurious oasis called High Hampton. It's a golf course community. You'll see Tiger Woods, Jordan, and some of the others, Mickelson, frequently visiting that spot there in Cashiers, North Carolina, 530 Heaton Forest Road. Beautiful property, mansion for sale. You have also a separate guest house, spacious bedrooms, lavish bathrooms, beautiful property. 11 bedrooms, 10 bath, 10,000 square feet. This is one of our $10 million listings, actually, co-listing with Bill DeVore real estate team, KW Professionals, Keller Williams Realty in the Carolinas. Also, 5146 Marine Parkway, commercial property here in Pasco County. This is a pool company that is currently for sale. The building is for sale. The business is not so much included there at 5146 Marine. We've got a storefront here about 1,000 feet from US 19. So at US 19, you've got 40 to 50,000 vehicles a day passing by. Public transportation hubs, condos being built right across the street. 5146 Marine Parkway, Newport Richey. One of our hot listings. We've got 60 current listings with the Platinum MVP team. You can see all of our listings at platinumcoastalelite.com.
We're a team, me and God.
Little Josh Turner for you there. All right, so we got Mike Murphy Auto Group in the house. Let's get to this clip, and then I want to talk a little bit about some of the latest job numbers, and the government revised some of these numbers down, so it's interesting how that is kind of playing out there. But here's the clip I was teasing with Dr. Phil.
I have these people talking about they want a quality of outcome. They don't even want a quality of opportunity. They want a quality of outcome. That doesn't work for me. I think this is a country that you work hard and you create your own experience. You create opportunities. And I think right now we're courting a victim mentality in this country. And I see it all the way to the college level. You see professors now that are teaching men, young men that are coming to college, that being ambitious, having entrepreneurial ideas, setting goals, getting out there and doing the things that give you an opportunity to get ahead and provide for your family, that's all gauche, that you just that's not what you should be doing, that you should be trying to bring everybody along. It seems awfully hypocritical to me that you're charging ridiculous fees for these elite universities to get the edge, and then you get in there and
I like how he brought it right back to these, because that's another major problem in America is these skyrocketing, rotting too, but these universities, right? The cost of universities.
It's sad, right? The cost of universities make no sense because the system makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
If we think about it, we haven't changed a single thing in the collegiate education system in our lifetimes and our parents' lifetimes. So
right.
It's really, really expensive to go to 13th and 14th grade.
Yeah,
Basically,
exactly.
You have to do that before you can go chase your passion and purpose in life.
Yeah.
Now, I was extremely blessed, probably because I was blessed by my Creator, but besides that, I knew what I wanted to do before I went to college.
Right.
So I wasted 2 years being tried to talk out of it.
Yep.
Then I got a heck of an education in the College of Business on how to grow my business. I think that the game's just played wrong.
Yeah.
I think what you need is to graduate high school. You need to figure out what you want in life.
Yep.
And then get educated and chase that dream.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it should either, and get back to Dr. Phil for a second, I don't think that Dr. Phil overly I think he simplified this too much. I don't think it's opportunity versus outcome.
Mm-hmm.
I look at this as like a race. The opportunity means everybody needs to start the race at the starting line and needs to start together. We need a diverse, inclusive society where everybody has the same opportunity, right? And then the results, the end of the race, should be the same for everybody. Now, when you cross that finish line, might dictate the quality of your house, your car, your savings, your health care, some of those unalienable rights we were defined by our forefathers.
Yep.
But it doesn't have to be this or that. It can be both. That's why I don't like politics. Red and blue, I think, is part of the problem.
Yeah.
When we realize we're purple, And that most of us are libertarians living in the middle who's tired of the left and the right. We could move on from this. It would be such a better society.
Yeah. Well, the uniparty, too, I think is the challenge because you look at, you just mentioned friends in Afghanistan. We were drawn into the Middle East through the Bush's lies about weapons of mass destruction and this and that. And I look at Dr. Phil's, the ambition and to have that ambition and drive. Yeah, a lot of people have that. And you were lucky to have a great dad. I had a great dad. They taught us work ethic. They taught us how to, put the extra effort in and to you get out what you put in a sense, right? And then
definitely.
And then the third coin of that would be the family piece, having that father figure, so the family, that's the challenge with, and a lot of times they try to make it a race thing. It's not race. It's about the father figure. So, and that's the stat
Completely
is 80% of African-American homes don't have the father figure because of welfare. And that was brought on by a lot of the liberal policies in the 60s.
And we have to be careful calling everybody people of color. My kids are people of color. They're biracial, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing that's the most amazing. You want to know the group of people that I interact with that has the highest capitalistic entrepreneurial dreams and aspirations? You know who they are?
Kids.
Immigrants.
Oh, yeah.
They'll do anything to get here. Once they get here, they ain't done. They're just
Yeah.
getting warmed up.
Absolutely.
So if we're born in America and we go to college, we're going to be brainwashed by people that didn't do it, right? Those that can't do, teach.
Yeah, exactly.
Just think of most coaches, right?
That's true.
Which league do you play in? Oh, you didn't? Then I ain't taking advice from you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a real estate coach like that too that I sometimes think about when I hear that.
Cool. Did you sell a piece of real estate? And he's like, no.
No, he never did in his dad. But anyways, so the government. Talk to me about this. We only have one minute here.
Yes, sir.
We actually won't probably be able to get to the whole thing. But there's this unemployment. 30. We got 30 seconds only, Mike. I don't think we'll be able to cover it. But 887,000 payrolls. But that number was off a little bit, right?
Yeah, just remember car math. It's all about the whole thing. So they talked about 1 month. Look at the prior months. They adjusted the prior months down.
Yeah, that's right. And then most people won't catch that adjustment because they'll be moved on to the next story.
Yeah, because let's be honest, most journalists are lazy and they're just trying to post clickbait. They don't want to tell the whole story. They just want you to click on their article and get served their ads.
That's right. Exactly. Yep. All right, Murphy Auto Group, where do we find you?
Yeah, and then on social media, remember Real Mike Murphy, realmikemurphy.com.
RealMikeMurphy.com.
Go think of that.
Murphy Auto Group. Awesome. Good stuff. All right, Mike. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
Taking a quick break, coming back, Derek Coble as well, property insurance adjuster. We're going to talk about the aftermath of the storm, things to do, things to look out for, and top consumer advocate tips in that space. We'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.